Hey everybody, this is Perch, and there is some pretty significant news on our Friday. We're going to end the week with some bigger shakeups in the world of comics, and some new titles getting launched. We have a couple things to talk about in regards to DC and Marvel, but the big news, or kind of the leading piece, is that Nick Spencer is officially ending his run on Amazing Spider-Man. Now, Nick Spencer has taken over kind of as the showrunner or the curator, if you will. They're still kind of hunting around for a title, it feels like, with Substack, the creator platform where he's going to be an ambassador trying to get comic creators to come onto the platform and make a big go of it. Substack has a decent amount of funding now to burn through, and they are definitely going to try and take some market share. Nick Spencer also experienced I don't want to say a backlash, but certainly a handful of creators decided this was the week to start accusing him of various things, which is somewhat laughable if you've actually paid attention to history over the last 4 years or so. In particular, Nick Spencer was certainly not a fan of the previous president or administration, but that did not stop a number of people from calling him all kinds of things this week, largely because he is going to help launch this new comics platform and Substack and is going to be in a position of significant power. I learned late this week that there was an expectation that somebody else was going to be chosen. And I think there's a handful of creators that are very bitter over the fact that Nick Spencer got the nod and not somebody that I can only presume they believe could get them a job. Anyway, Nick Spencer's Spider-Man run started about 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Was it 3 years ago, I believe. And now it is ending with Amazing Spider-Man number 74, which is in September, so quite soon. And definitely there's been a lot of moving parts that Spencer has put together. Everything, from bringing back the relationship with Mary Jane to the work with the Sin Eater and Kindred and Norman Osborn and the Kingpin and all these different pieces. So his last storyline will be called What Cost Victory. And, we do not have an announcement of who will take the reins. However, I guess I look at this in two ways. First off, as I've mentioned before, Marvel is doing a number of things to kind of shuffle the deck in time for October and have some pretty big relaunches and some big kickoffs to get their Penguin Random House deal off to the best possible start. And I suspect this is going to fall kind of along with that, of being able to now come out either with a brand new Spider-Man number 1, which is certainly possible, or they keep the numbering with number 75 and announce a brand new creator and variant covers and double-sized issue and everything else. Who gets put on Spider-Man? I think Ben Percy's name is certainly somewhere on that list as somebody who could do it. But you're going to get a lot of hype over who that next creator is as they close down the Nick Spencer run. I think Nick Spencer leaving the title is earlier than planned. I have to believe this Substack deal is very lucrative and positive for Spencer. He's getting a very nice deal out of the mix. And so I think, leaving behind the grind of a monthly page, a page rate that is low at Marvel, I get why you'd make that trade. But it is an interesting moment in time that Spencer's run certainly seemingly ending early. Patrick Gleason, there's been a number of different creators, artists who have come onto the title and wound up Ryan Otley, who he launched the title with, Mark Bagley, Huberto Ramos. A number of different people have come into the title and left rather quickly. So it does indicate perhaps again, some amount of shuffling that was unexpected with this title, I guess I would say. In the world of kind of rumors and just what I'm hearing from other people, we're actually going to see 3 fairly high-profile names either leave Marvel or dramatically tone down their work. And I think we've seen 2 now. Jonathan Hickman has certainly still is head of X, but certainly is not on an ongoing title. He will do Inferno. There's no signs that there's an ongoing title coming behind that, and I highly doubt there will be. Nick Spencer now leaving Spider-Man, and I'm told that we've got one more fairly big name that's going to be bowing out toward the end of the year. Marvel in general has a fairly atrocious page rate, and they are sticking to their guns in terms of of both what they do for artists, what they do for writers. And I think some of these bigger names, if you're one of the people who either got a good lucrative contract with a company some time ago and you've held on to it, or you're one of the company's bigger names, I think that there's a subtle pressure and gravity to kind of roll you out. I don't think Marvel's going to actively push anybody out the door, but if you kind of see the writing on the wall, which is what a lot of this feels like, then going off and doing something with a Substack or a company like that is probably very attractive. So it's an interesting time where that's concerned. Shifting gears slightly, but still in Marvel, we are getting announcements today on the revival of Dark Ages. This was the Tom Taylor title that was teased in Free Comic Book Day, where kind of the power went off. We saw Iron Man fall from the sky, and I believe one of his limbs came lopping off. But Dark Ages is returning this September. So or not returning, but starting, I guess I should say. The original, the Free Comic Book story was by Tom Taylor and Iban Coelho. And we're expected to see a number of what the superheroes would look like in this kind of new, blown up world. So we've seen a couple pieces of art with that, redesigned costumes. Ryan Stegman has a Spider-Man out that you're probably seeing on the screen right now, and we'll finally see this title come to fruition. And this is, I think, Marvel has hopes of a deceased like hit in terms of Tom Taylor and this kind of Dark Ages limited series that is scheduled to come out where everything goes wrong. So we have that coming as well. And then two bits of news from DC. First off, we have kind of this creative team, which we knew to some extent, but I Am Batman is officially launching in September as an ongoing series, and this is John Ridley and Oliver Coipel, and this is the new kind of Jace Fox Batman in an ongoing series past Future State. And really kind of building on this character development that was done early on. The big news probably here is, in the weirdest way, is less John Ridley, who is now on Black Panther for Marvel. We did see him in Future State, and I think some of the, I don't say myth, but some of the hype around John Ridley has been spent to some extent. But Oliver Coipel is somebody who is definitely one of the stronger artists, one of the bigger polls in the industry, has certainly done a lot of Marvel work. He did Magic Order with Mark Millar, and he's going to be on a Batman title. So that is going to be a draw. That's DC putting a pretty high profile art talent on a title. Of course, as always, the question remains, does he stay on for more than an issue or two? But as of right now, they're going forward with John Ridley and Oliver Coipel on this book. Finally, in September as well, we are getting in this case, a limited series. It's a 6-issue series. So, I mean, why not? 5 issues, 6 issues, 8 issues, 12 issues, whatever you want to do, publishers. But we're getting one for Black Manta. So this is Chuck Brown and Valentine DeLandro, who are on a 6-issue Black Manta series for DC. This will be going kind of at the same point as the Jackson Hyde, i.e. his son, who is Aquaman, The Becoming, who is also getting a title, limited series. Although his limited series, I thought, was 5 issues, although I see the cover says 6. So who knows? Covers wouldn't lie, right? So it's 2 6-issue series, so 12 issues of Aquaman-related material that does not actually have Aquaman in it, or maybe he will be in the Black Manta book. But this is what we've got. A couple pieces of big news. I think I've been mentioning for some time that Marvel has some shakeups coming, and a lot of attention was on DC last year, and this year it would be more on Marvel. And I think that is, we are starting to see the first indications that there's been a few things that have happened behind the scenes. I know with distribution and with publishing that are happening as well. And I think we're going to look back on it and see that the months between, June, July through October are going to be fairly, a fairly decent roller coaster at Marvel. So that'll be interesting to pay attention to. But Nick Spencer off Spider-Man earlier than expected, certainly. We have the revival of Dark Ages by Tom Taylor. We've got a brand new Black Manta series from DC, and we've got John Ridley and Oliver Capil on the next Batman. So what of any of these are you getting? What do you think of this news, and what's your thoughts about the future of comics and the big two? Let me know in the comments below. How's the audio quality? Should be pretty good, right? I would hope so. Anyway, thanks for